Hello, this is your host, Tributron here, and this is Dino Dog. Jesus, I'm gonna have to put a bell on you. Sorry. Please, by all means, continue with this intro. Well, anyways, you stay back there. I am gonna stay back there. Continue. Alright. And today we are going to be taking a look at the Barraki before they got mutated. And I'm not just going to be reviewing just one figure, I'm going to be reviewing 4 figures. But Tributron, you can barely even review 2. How are you going to possibly review all 4? Oh, you just wait and watch. I am going to be reviewing all of these and give you some lore, a backdrop, and all that good stuff. But first of all, before we get into articulation, functions, and lore, let's go ahead and go straight into how big these guys actually are. All right, let's get started. Starting with Ehlek over here. Ehlek stands roughly about 8¼ inches tall. Centimeter measurement will be up in the corner. Alright, Kalma here stands roughly about 8¼ as well. Actually, due to the tubes, he is actually 8½ inches tall. And the centimeter measurement will be up in the corner. Barraki here stands roughly up. Well, let's go ahead and straighten those legs so that they can feel more in home with the awkward posing that some figures tend to have. And let's angle that head down a little bit. And Barraki stands about 7½ inches tall, and the centimeter measurement will be up in the corner. Mahdrox here, being a long, lanky boy, stands roughly about 9½ inches tall, and the centimeter measurement will be up in the corner. Now, with them all out of the way, let's go straight off with this guy, Ehlek. Alright, articulation-wise, ball joint at the ankle goes up this far, goes back this far. You got this much of a rocker, but you can cheese it and give him that much, but he is no Roxy, but he could be one if you can imagine it. So you can go be, if you want him to. I don't know why you would, but you could definitely do that. Alright, knees, a 90-degree bend. No surprise, legs, they go back this far, very disappointed. He goes up this far, okay, now I'm a little excited. No waist, and there's a reason. Ball joint at the elbow, you can probably imagine it, 90-degree bend at the elbow. You can probably imagine it, and you can see it. And ball joint on the wrist, you can probably imagine the range of articulation of that, and the same on the other side. Now, this head, this funky head, ball joint, so it can look up all the way, whoa, and he can look down this far. You can break his neck, or you can break it all the way, because I know some people will probably see it as a little fecal spider, you know, and it kind of looks like a fecal spider. It looks like a very weird looking spider, if you really want it to be a spider, but no, these are gills, and as you can tell from the back, I replicated his torso, his OG torso, because it said in the lore that he did not change all that much. And we are good too. Speaking about lore, you know what that means? We get to talk a little bit about the lore, so let us begin. This species in particular is called Mahdrox. Now, the Mahdrox are covered in various colored scales with fins on the sides of their head, typically having webbed feet and hands. Known to be powerful warriors of land and sea, they are quite strong and athletic, able to swim up waterfalls and leap high from the waters. Skewering prey with their sharp claws upon eating, they use their mandibles to break through thick shells and nuts. However, I noticed you didn't put any mandibles on this build. No, you can imagine the jaw is like mandibles, like they can split open, kind of like a Roxy. That's disturbing. Why? Also, why the gills on the sides of the head, the fins? Oh, so that it can look more like a merman. What? Anyways, continue. What about this culture and the history about the Mahdrox? Oh, yes. Let us continue. The Mahdrox lived in harmony amongst the Skakdi, to a point where there were always a ritual between the two of exchanging food and resources, where from the waters they will give sushi and art for various land harvested meals. Underground caverns and tunnels would soon be made to expand the water flows in between the natural springs, which they are quite gorgeous, mind you. As a result, they utilize underground water chutes to travel between these flower-filled springs. Yet, life changed for the Skakdi, however. The Mahdrox soon began having to use their claws for combat to defend themselves, turning into tacticians due to their natural ability of hunting in groups and cartography. What's cartography? Cartography is drawing maps. Oh. Also, speaking of, that also reminds me, the mandibles also were now being used to make like sharp knives out of bone and other various materials. Wait a minute, they made weapons with their mandibles? Yes, they were utilized for sharpening bone for makeshift knives and spears. That's disturbing. All right, should we go to the next one? I agree. Lower time over. Alright, time for this big boy over here. Let's go ahead and take a look at Kalma. So, ball joint at the ankles. You could probably imagine the range. Goes forward, goes back, goes tilt. Can't tilt that much that far, but it kind of does tilt all the way due to the shaping and yada yada. You get the point. Alright, curve in the knees. I almost called them elbows. Don't judge me. Alright, ball joint over at the upper thigh. You can imagine the range of articulation. The arms. All right, ball joint at the shoulder. Goes all the way around, goes up this far, goes down this far. It can't go back, but it can butterfly in a little bit. All right, his hand goes and curves in every which way and all that good stuff. And elbow bends this far, hand is on a ball joint. You could probably imagine the range of articulation. And this, same on the other side, but a little bit different. So he got to bend over here, so you got all that good stuff. And also he has a play feature, which you could probably imagine. You just spin this and whoop-de-doo, there he goes. And this is probably what turned into the tentacles. You can see the little holes all throughout the build so that it would translate into his noodles, his noodly noodles, the noodlest of noodles. Also, his head is on a ball joint, so you get some wiggly waggly all the way around. These breathing apparatus tubes go ahead and hook onto the back, which would later become the tendrils that come sticking out of his back. And you're probably wondering, yeah, it kind of looks like Sidorex species or something like that, but miniaturized. I thought we weren't going into the lore yet. Well, I guess we are going into the lore, so you want to go into it? Alright, fine. Let's go straight into it. Can you pose him differently? He's disturbing me. Oh, yeah. Appreciate it. Yeah, he still bothers me, but I digress. Alright. The nadir. The nadir? Doesn't look like a deer. That's a terrible joke and you should be ashamed. Are you laughing? Because I am. Alright. The abilities and traits. Let's go into that first, shall we? Known to wear decorative armor and having additional small appendages on their arms, tubes are typically attached to their hair, drawing in air to aid them in breathing, and definitely was the first time I ever mentioned that. And the Nadir are a very analytical race, known to be quite blunt when it comes to conversing with others. Armed with various rotary tools, they are flexible at most jobs. What job would this weapon in particular be used? Well, it's a weapon. What's the name of the weapon? Spinny Spinny Def Def weapon. That's a terrible name. I think it's a good name. Spinny Spinny Def Def weapon is not a real weapon name. I think it is. Oh, wait, we had to keep going. There's 2 more. No, you're right. Continue. Alright, the history for this thing. Originating from stealth, the Nadir are proud of their works and commerce, expressing a sub-variant of Matoran language throughout their armor outside of shapes and colors. It is a show of both skill in writing and their metal. But it wouldn't be long until the change of climate instead would lead them from markets selling their work to tourists to running black market chains for gladiatorial arenas. That's kind of sad, but kind of cool. Yes, and I suggest one of these days you paint some of these, the handwriting all over the armor. No, we do not paint Bionicle here. What do you mean you don't paint Bionicle? Yeah, you painted... Oh, we'll get to it when we get to it. What do you mean we'll get to it when we get to it? Alright, next one. Alright, fellow compatriots. Now, Predak over here. So, articulation-wise, ball joint at the ankles until you break his foot in the process. Always a favorite thing to do. A ball joint, wiggle waggle. You can imagine the range. Knees, they bend all the way because he's a very flexible boy. And ball to socket on the waist, so you get back and forth, and then all the way up. Very awkward fellow, no waist articulation, but what he does have is shoulder articulation that can butterfly in and back all the way because, let's be fair, the shark mode was very weird and awkward, so I thought, hey, why not have this guy be weird and awkward? And he has actual hands. He has actual fingies. Does this disturb you? I hope it does. These is on a ball joint, so his discs throwing appendages are there, and also the head is a function. If you turn this, he can look down, and if you twist it counterclockwise, he can look up, so that he can look like a sharky shark. Because no sharky shark man will look cool if he didn't look like a sharky shark, and this is obviously like a flight mode type of thing. You can use it to swim. This looks like something he could do to swim. I mean, maybe he was in the Olympics. You know, you never know if Predak was in the Olympics. He could have been. He was not in the Olympics. He can be. Look at this flexibility. There's a reason why he has. Let's go into the lore. All right. Let's go into the lore. These creatures in particular are called the Battloids, comprising of mostly mismatched composition of elements to create a humanoid form. The Battloids are sentient The dog was talking. You are a dog. I am Dino Dog. There's a difference. Comprising of mostly mismatched components. Oh, dear me. Sorry. Comprising of mostly mismatched composition of elements to create a humanoid form, the Battloids are sentient golems, typically preferring to have a disc in hand. Grown from crystallized protodermis from the mountains of the southern islands, the Battloids build their bodies over time from various rocks before migrating down to the shores, where they would collect various metals and wreckage to upgrade their frame from another neighboring island. Though incredibly strong, they are gentle beings, always preferring to make temples and various structures, including new bodies for new crystals to grow if they deem necessary. However, when Axon arrived, the Battloids had their first taste of what it means to rule. And since then, they have grown to become fighters, fighting over the most powerful disc in tournaments and changing the name of their people to better fit their new tradition. Additionally, I should add that once forming a body, they can no longer inhabit another, as the metals/materials to make one is now part of their core. They can only add or replace components. What were their old names? Oh, they... You know, I'm not so sure. There wasn't any records. Huh. Well, you have to remember, they didn't necessarily write anything down. Anyways, let's go to the next one. You got it. Alright, Tacadox, let's go. Alright, articulation-wise, there's a ball joint at the ankle. You could probably imagine. It doesn't go up that far. Goes back all the way, and you got a nice rocker. A very nice, kind of a nice rocker. No knees. And legs go back this far, goes forward this far, can do the splits and more, but the tubes kind of push it down, so it can't really do much. His tail, he lost his head. Parts are old, okay? You had to remember that part in particular is probably 23 years old right now. And ball joint goes up over here, goes down all the way and across. He got the red tip right there. He got some red components there for detailing wise. Ball joint on the way, so you can have him teapot all over the place if you want Tacadox to teapot and show off his sharp pecs. He has the sharpest pecs imaginable. He will poke your eyes out. And he has a ball joint at the shoulder. Isn't that crazy? Bent at the elbow, past 90 degrees, which is nice. I love that. Hands, they are on a ball joint. They go up this far. They go down all the way, and they can shift side to side. So he can do some stuff with his. That's annoying me way too much. And also he has some tiny little tusks, as you can see. He gets some little tiny tusks on his head, and he has a big brain. He has a very big brain. He has the biggest of brains, as you can tell. And yeah, so let's go into the lore. So what's the name of this guy? You can't pronounce it. What do you mean you can't pronounce it? Come on, what's Tacadox's species name? Come on, Dino Dog. Do it. I am going to butcher it. You're not going to butcher it. Come on, I believe in you. You do realize they first developed their language and thought. Before they were more so verbal. Really? Yeah, it's... let me go into it. Let's start from the beginning. Come on, Dino Dog, you can do it. I hate you put me on the spot like this. This is outrageous. The Olujamiwa, the Olujamiwa is the name of the species, and for the duration of this video, I'm just gonna call it O. That's offensive. How dare you? Realize what you have unleashed on this video? Yeah, and I'm proud of it. Alright. Their traits and abilities, we'll start there. Very spindly with long appendages, despite their lack of physical appearance, they are strong in mind, possessing the ability to hypnotize. Oh, good job! You didn't mention the name. Good, very smart. All right, now talk about the history and culture. All right, very well, very well. Therapists and psychologists of Kitanku's homeland, the Olujamiwa, are revered for their high understanding of mental health. They believe that just like how the Great Spirit has different spheres of chi throughout their body, so do those who inhabit him. They believe in balance of the spirit as much as they understand the importance of the mind. As much as Kitaga's species understands the importance of the party, they also have a great love for botany, creating vast gardens, and will you shut that dog up? Cheesecake! That's enough! I don't care! We're doing a video! Just continue. Continue. Alright, so they do gardens across the landscape. Okay. Anything else? Well, like I said earlier, the Olujamiwa have the ability to link their minds with one another as a form of communication between them, yet lack the ability to do so with other species. As such, many beings have difficulty speaking their species' name, as it originated from thought instead of by mouth. So that's why they look weird. Yes. Anyways, that is all for the video. Wait, whoa. Hey, no, we had to do another thing. Oh, wait, what's that? This! How did you do that? Magic. It's called video editing. I know what you did. Gosh dang it. You're not gonna have me that one, are you? Nope. Anyways, fellow compatriots, that's it for this video. If you enjoyed, why not give it a like? And if you want to go ahead and see more content, especially my handsome visage, then by all means subscribe. And if you want to see even more MOCs, be sure to go ahead and follow me in any form of social media outlets. As you can see them scrolling by. Sweet! Yes, go ahead, check them out. I highly recommend Instagram. We post there more often. And also Tumblr. By all means, if you want to go ahead and check out ascendingdevs.etsy.com, it is a line where I am making a whole bunch of custom parts. Go ahead, check them out. Making a lot of resin make stuff, pretty cool stuff. Be sure to check it out. Add over. Anyways, I will see you all in the next one. So bye, guys. Goodbye. Cheers.